About a year and a half ago, I bought a Sea Ray 18-foot boat. Bought it in the winter time. It had the bow rollers. It had these as a setup, and the bells. This part was just too big. This was the only part actually touching the boat, and they had just crunched them down, and they were out of shape. They've come back because they've been sitting around for a year and a half, but they were just out of shape. They weren't going to turn. So, not knowing, I had not had the boat in the water. I bought this, which is just a bow cradle. It's a Stoltz 404 RP. I think RP's roller part, but I'm guessing on that. But the bow cradle. And what I didn't know is that the boat actually had to roll down off of the rollers. You had to actually use the rollers to roll down when you're pushing it off, and not so much when you're bringing it back on the boat, on the trailer, because you're powering it on. But this would turn like this, and the boat would, it'd hit up like this, and it just didn't work. So I just went and got some, or ordered them on Amazon, really. Some more Stoltz parts. And this one is let's see, this is the RP 444. There's another one, it's 446, and it's the same size on the diameter, and this part's just a little thicker. It would end up a little thicker. So if your boat wasn't touching here, it was just here and here, this one is a little thicker, and that would work, for different boats. And these are bell ends for a 3-inch setup, because the 4-inch were the exact same size as the yellow ones I just showed you. So these are smaller. And on the brackets, the side that had the threads on, the threads are actually touching this bracket, and from the force, and I guess it was turning in there, it had elongated this hole. There's a 1/2-inch hole. So I bought these bushings. I used a step drill, drilled them out to 3/4 of an inch, which is the outside diameter. The outside diameter of the bushing with just a step drill. And if you're ever doing this kind of stuff, just make sure you have something, even if you don't have a vise or something to put them in the drill. If you use like a lag bolt and screw them down to a big piece of 4x4 or 6x6 or something, just so it doesn't spin around and catch you, because they can really hurt. Anything like that, you don't want it to spin around and catch you. I want to be safe. And then because I was using the bushings, I had to drill out. I had to drill out a place for the bushings to go, so I used a Forster bit, and just to make some relief, so that the bearing would go down. It didn't go down too deep, so that these will not hit the brackets. Once they're put together, they'll set out a little bit, but not much. And then the Forster bits, they're hard. I'm gonna say impossible to drill if there's already a hole like this. So I just took a wooden dowel and stuck it in there, and I don't know if you can make that look like it's pretty well centered, that divot, and that was just by using the drill press and pressing down into, without the rollers on there, but pressing down with the point to get it centered. And then I just held this from underneath with vice grips, so that it would not turn. Because if it was going to turn, it probably wouldn't have, got me set. But once you've got the bit down a bit, you don't really need that. But I just left it in there all the time. I was using it just in case it would, keep it centered, because you wouldn't want to get off center hole. So anyway, that was it. And I bought a different bolt where the threads weren't actually in here. When it ends up, it's about like this. The threads are on the outside bell, but not on the bushing. Which should work. Throw it together real quick. Oops. Probably help have this one. So that's it together. And you can see, let's see, like, you can see that there's just a little bit of a gap, so these will be able to spin freely. And that's in there. And I've got plenty to seat on the nylon insert, so it'll lock in. That's the whole story. If that helped you, that's great.